I almost did not make today's video. If you've been creating content for a hot minute, you probably heard something like, create good content, content's king, produce unique content, stand out with your content.
Shut up. Shut up.
I've even said that myself a few times. Okay, a lot of times. But those words ring true. Content is what is going to get you more shares and lifelong followers to build trust so people will buy your products or click your affiliate links and go up in search results. In this video, I am going to share a very simple tactic that will instantly boost your engagement. It's going to help you reach your audience better. It's going to teach them more things. It's going to increase dwell time. It's going to increase listen time, watch time if you're a YouTuber. It's going to make people like share your stuff and be like, daggum, this person has the best content. And I'm not joking. It is incredibly simple. And in fact, it's a little bit dumb and silly. And you might even be mad at me once I tell you what it is. Before I tell you what it is, this actually comes with a warning. This little marketing tactic, content trick, it should not be used all the time. In fact, you're going to need to tread very carefully to make this work. It's the silliest, simplest thing ever. You could get started today, but just a little warning. You want to use this very strategically and you got to be smart with it. I'm not joking when I say you might actually be a little mad at me. You might be angry at me. Once I tell you what this is, you're going to get it. So no joke. In the process of recording this video, Mark Rober, he is a YouTube star with a brilliant YouTube channel. He just uploaded this video, Car versus World's Strongest Trampoline. And look at that thumbnail right there.
Trampoline in 3, 2, 1.
There it goes. It's going. It's going.
This is a car.
Okay, so I literally watched this video all the way through because I'm a huge Mark Rober fan, and he uses this tactic that I'm about to tell you no less than 3 times in this one video. He used it 3 times, and it's brilliant. So I discovered this tactic kind of on accident using the app Voxer, where you can talk to your friends or your coworkers or anybody, but not in real time. Like there's a gap, and I discovered it. And since then, I have used this for all of my product launches in recent memory, as well as sprinkled throughout different pieces of content. Not every piece of content, but different pieces of content. It never fails me, and it's incredibly easy. The tactic has to do with attention. So I want you to make me a promise to tread carefully and treat your audience's attention with respect. Okay, enough beating around the bush. Are you ready to know what it is? I can actually sum this up in one word, and so I'm actually going to write it down really quick. Tease things. That's right. Tease things. Now, before you start shaking your head, be like, what on earth did I just watch? Think about what I've done for the past minute or two in this own YouTube video. I've been kind of leading you to something. Are you still watching? I told you, it's going to sound dumb. It's going to sound silly. You might even be angry at me for waiting this long, but this is actually incredibly powerful. How did you feel like waiting up to hear this? What do you feel now? Do you feel disappointed? I wouldn't be surprised. This is an extreme example. You'll have to bear with me. Thank you for bearing with me. I apologize for making this like an extreme example, but how did you feel like leading up to this? Were you excited? Did you want to know what this was going to be? There is a science behind this. In fact, people who write stories and movies and books for a living, they call this the story gap. We introduce a character who wants something really bad, and then we introduce a challenge or a problem, and the audience wants to know what happens. Or if I tell you I have a very simple and powerful psychological marketing tactic that is incredibly easy to use and is going to get you great results in your content, you naturally want to know, what is it? This works. It's powerful. Our brains cannot handle story gaps. We hate it. We hate being teased. We want the ending. We want to know what happens. We have to know. If we were to leave the movie Star Wars right before the climax at the end when Luke Skywalker blasts the Death Star, if we didn't know what happened, if the movie theater shut down, we would be like, what? What do we do? I need to know what happens. You can use this in your marketing. You can use this in your content. If you go back to the Mark Rober example, look at that thumbnail. It shows the trampoline, it shows the car, and what do the first couple of seconds of the video look like? Literally a countdown. He doesn't actually show it happening. He teases it. And he does it again about 9 minutes into the video here.
But before we drop the car, I want to quickly explain.
But what cracks me up is at the very end of the video, after the car drop, he does this right here. He drops the boat, but wait. He doesn't. He teases another video. That is 3 incredibly powerful teases that get us to continue to engage with his content. Speaking of Star Wars, the last couple of movies that have come out, they don't give away everything that happens in the movie in the trailer. Some trailers are terrible, by the way, and they actually give away what happens in the movie. Why would I pay money to go see that in the theater? Star Wars, on the other hand, does not do that. They know they need to surprise and delight and tease the movie so people will spend money to go see it. Also, have you ever read The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown or any other Dan Brown novel? Every single chapter ends teasing some situation, problem, challenge that Robert Langdon is going to face in the next chapter. That's why people binge read this. He teases what's going to happen next. So lest you think I'm just going to tease you in this video and bring up some examples, I have some concrete steps that you can take in your own content, your own marketing and sales. The first 2 steps I want to talk about together. You have to intrigue and you have to make a promise. So what did I do at the top of this video? I intrigued you by saying I have a silly marketing tactic that can get you more engagement, blah, 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 blah. I intrigued you. You're like, ooh, okay, what is it? Then I made you a promise. I am going to show you how to blah, 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 blah. I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay. I intrigued you just a little bit, and then I made a promise. I am going to show you. You have to stick around. Steps 3 and 4 I'm also going to talk about together because it's important. Then you have to drop breadcrumbs. You can't just be saying, I have this really cool thing I want to teach you about, and I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. Oh, look, shiny apples and oranges and rabbits. You have to keep talking about it. You have to keep dropping little breadcrumbs that will keep your audience engaged. And by the way, something I maybe perhaps failed to do in this own video is actually do this without being frustrating. Teasing somebody can actually be frustrating. They get impatient. I did that a little bit in this video as an extreme example, but you just have to be engaging and continue to pique their interest, continue to tease until you actually set up the reveal. Step number 5 in this process is to answer the question, who cares? Why do I need this? Why is this cool? Why should I know this? If you don't do this step, you can tease people, and then drop the reveal, teach them the thing, and it'll be a disappointment almost every time. You use this intrigue and teasing nature to give enough context where they realize it's important. So I don't actually know if I did this well in this video at all, but what I really wanted to do was give you a little bit of a context. So when I literally brought up the word tease, you were like, okay, I think he might actually be going somewhere with this. In Mark Rober's video, he gives you a lot of different context. We built a trampoline out of bulletproof Kevlar with car springs, and we did this with my friends in Australia, and there's a bunch of interesting, engaging content that sets up the big reveal, dropping a car on a trampoline. And the last step in this process is to actually deliver the promise. You can't tease something without actually giving it. That's just called being a jerk, I guess. So I want you to experiment with this in your content. I want you to tell people the next blog post that you're going to write. Say, oh, I have this idea. Next week, I'm going to be doing this. You will not believe it. I'm going to teach you, blah, blah, blah. Set up some intrigue, make a promise, and then tease it out. You can also just do this in the same blog post. Open up a blog post with something a little extraordinary, something like really intriguing. Last month, I tripled my traffic on accident. In this post, I am going to show you exactly what I did. That may be a little bit strong, but you can tease stuff. Open story gaps in the minds of your audience, and they will tune in. They will stay engaged. They will open that next email. If you tell them what's going to be in it and it's intriguing, it's something they want. By the way, that's another big point. They have to kind of want to know the answer. If they don't want to know the answer or they don't care, then why would they tune in? But if they want to, they will open that next email. They'll read that next blog post. Stay tuned into your upcoming product launch when you tease. Speaking of which, next week or up here in the corner, I am going to release a video on my blog content strategy, or how I utilize SEO and podcasting and YouTube in conjunction to grow my business. There are going to be some huge takeaways in that video that you're definitely not going to want to miss. #teasing. See you later, Blog Tribe. Adios.